Welcome everyone to our fall lunch and learn. So excited to have all of you here. I'm really excited to be joined today by Regina Duncan, Axe Housing Regional Director, and also Shelby Vermillion, Axe Home Buying Coach. I have lots of questions to start us off with, but just again wanted to thank each of you for joining us. Hopefully others will come into the room as the conversation continues, but really excited that we could carve out some time to have this really important discussion. So ladies, thank you so much for agreeing to have this conversation with me. Um, we are looking forward to learning so much about Axe Housing. I see the billboards, I see the promotions, and the work that you do in our community is so needed. I think we are all familiar with housing and affordable, safe housing is an issue in our community and unfortunately continues to be. But I'm so excited to sit down and learn more about the work that Axe do. So I'm going to jump right in. So my first question is, does Axe Housing work with single individuals or families or both who are looking to buy a home?
Hi, Amy. This is Regina. If I could just jump in just for a second. If
Please.
I could, I'd just like to do a little bit of an intro, just so people are familiar with who we are. I just want to say that we are so happy to be here over Max Housing today, and thank you so much for the invitation and for also realizing how important home ownership is here in Beloit. I'm new. I'm the new regional director, and today joining me is Shelby Vermillion, and Shelby's our home buyer coach here. I love Beloit and am so excited to be in the position to help us continue to thrive. So I just want to continue and just say thank you, everyone, for being here and wanting to learn more about Axe. We want to be sure today, before we leave, that everyone on this call and everyone throughout the community is totally familiar with all of our services. And our agency at Axe Housing, we are an empowerment organization. We help assist families on their path to home ownership. Now, on that path, and Shelby's going to cover that today, is there are 4 steps. Step one is the Axe orientation. Step two is how to become mortgage ready. Step three is how to find your home. And step four is how to purchase and move in. So if those are scaring you, don't worry about it. Shelby's going to cover that and make it very easy for you. And if any time throughout the process you have a question, I know you had some questions for us, Amy, and Shelby's going to go through those. But if there's any time throughout the process that anyone has any questions, just let us know. And I just want to mention that we all are noticing that costs are rising throughout our community, and being able to afford having a place to stay has been even tougher, especially when people are having to pay higher rent. We want to make sure that people are not giving their money away for someone else to benefit from. This is an investment for you and your family, and enables you and ensures you to have generational wealth. Our Axe team is here today to ensure you have that option and opportunity and put your money towards something that benefits you. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Shelby. I know she's going to answer some of those questions that you talked about. And so I'll just turn it over and say, Shelby, let's get it started.
Yeah, so the first question that Amy had asked was, does Axe Housing work with single individuals or families or both? We work with everyone, whether it's just you're applying with someone else, multi-generational as well. We've had situations to where mom and daughter, purchase, or siblings purchase together. So anyone can purchase a home together.
I love the flexibility. On the billboards, you see the happy families and they're so excited about their new home. So I was just wondering, but it's great to know. And the intergenerational is something that I hadn't considered. If you want to purchase a home with a parent or with a child or even with a sibling. So yeah, I appreciate that flexibility. So my next question is, are there requirements to become eligible to work with Axe? And if yes, what are those requirements that community members need to be aware of?
Yeah, we don't have really any requirements to work with us because that's what we're working towards. We're helping you with your credit, talking about job history, those kind of things. So to start the program with X Housing, we, like I just said, work with individuals, families, multi-generational. We don't have income restrictions for working with a coach, but the really only requirement for families to start a program is to pay for a soft pull credit report that doesn't have impact. They pay for this credit report one time, and we pull as many times as needed throughout the process until they purchase their home. This is currently about $21 per person. And if you families have questions about that or concerns, they can always reach out to us and we can talk about that.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, you have a lot of services that kind of lead up to the home buying as the end goal. So working with people's credit, budgeting, maybe some financial literacy pieces, and there are no requirements to engage with Axe Housing on that work. Once an individual or a family or whatever your unit looks like is ready to purchase that home, there's that $21 charge to pull the credit report, and you can get that multiple times for just that $21?
Yes. And that's something that when families register for our program, they're paying for right away. Because in our first meeting with a family, when they meet with a coach, like myself, I'm the coach for the Rock County area. We're looking at that credit report at our first appointment to get a clear picture of where we're at.
No, that's great. Um, are there ways that Axe Housing helps with, and we kind of alluded to this, but financial literacy, credit, saving for that down payment? What are some of the specifics that Axe can help community members with?
Yes. So with meeting with the regular home buyer coach like myself on a individualized basis, there's no minimum or maximum time throughout the program that families have to be in. So it's really individualized to the family and their process. We talk about credit, if they don't have credit, how to establish credit, or if we need to work on fixing credit, the items that need to be taken care of to purchase a home versus the items that they don't need to worry about to purchase a home. Big example of that is medical collections. People think they have to take care of those to purchase a home, but you don't. Things are not as concerned about those as what they used to be, because a lot of people have medical collections nowadays compared to what they used to. And then we provide HUD-approved home buyer education. So even, if a family just wants to do the education right now, they're not ready to take on the rest of the steps, that's okay. We can work on the education piece so they understand the process when they're ready. But you don't have to be mortgage ready to work with us. That's what I'm here for. That's my job, is to help you get mortgage ready. I have some families that work with me for a few months, and I have some families that have been with me for the full 2 years that I've been at X Housing. So everyone's plan is a little bit different, but we're here to walk you through every step of the way.
Wow. It sounds like you all are very patient, and very flexible with who you work with and how you work with community members and the duration that you work with them. So that's really comforting, because I know that for some people, purchasing a home or even thinking about beginning the steps to purchase a home can be very overwhelming. So I love the idea that, come check this out. Start the process. If you're not ready to go all the way and complete a purchase, that's okay. We can just work with you on the learning and the exploration phase. So that is wonderful to hear.
And I just want to add, Amy, too, to that we work with our home buyer coach, like Shelby is one of those, and she helps to work with each individual needs to get them to where they need to be on their path, because each individual person may be at a different level. Some people may be ready and to buy a house today, and some people it may take up to 2 years, 1 year or 2 years. So I just wanted to add that. But
No.
don't let that scare you away. It's just that each individual needs are different.
Okay. Very
Yeah.
good. Seems like this work is very customizable, which I am certain that community members are benefiting from. That's awesome. So for those of you that are listening into this conversation, don't let me hog all of the questions. I'm just here to get us started. Please start putting those in the chat, and we'll get those addressed one at a time. All right, so the next question that I have, is Axe able to help community members find homes that meet their individual needs? So like some residents might need a single floor plan, single level floor plan, or ramps for mobility issues, etc. How does that process work? 'Cause I know that we have in Rock County limited housing available, but is there some intentionality around not just a house, but a house that meets my needs and not just financially?
Yes, we are definitely here to help families find a home that meets their individual needs. Um, Understand that Axe Housing nor anyone else can force you into a certain home and tell you this is the one you have to buy right here. This is your only option. Um, as the family or individual going through the program, you are in charge. You're in control of this process. No one can force you to do anything. We're here as a guiding hand. Something that I focus a lot on with families is making sure that they understand the difference between needs in a home and wants. Because I know a lot of us, we love HGTV. We're looking at those houses that we see on those TV shows. So that's definitely something that we talk about is the needs. What do we need in a home compared to what would we want? And understand that the wants can come later. We can also focus on this is your first home. It doesn't have to be your forever. You know, what do we want right now? And then we can take a look at, what do we need right now and then wants that we want later. Because there's so much customization when it comes to being a homeowner. As far as looking at houses, Axe Housing has additional services that we can offer to families. The main thing is coaching, but we have additional services. So we have Axe Realtors that can assist with families in looking at their homes. And the benefit of them working with our realtor is this realtor is familiar with working with families in looking at affordability. How much can you truly afford for a home and your monthly payments, and what do you need? Let's try to be creative with finding some deals that are going to work for you. So yeah, definitely we're here to help you get what you need in a home.
Perfect. And a question just came in on the chat. Thank you, Susan. I'll read it in case everyone doesn't have their chat open. How is Axe similar and or different from Neighborhood Works? Is there a waiting list?
So Axe Housing is very similar to NeighborWorks in the fact that we are a HUD-approved agency to help with homebuyer education and helping families purchase a home. We do not have a waiting list for families to work with us. Once families do orientation and authorization forms, they get scheduled with a coach. So Rock County, that's me. My schedule right now is only booked out until next week. So families can get in rather quickly with us, and we're working with you as long as it takes to purchase your home.
Perfect. Now you mentioned orientation. What does the orientation process look like?
Yeah. So with Axe Housing, currently what we have families do is we have them go to our website, and I'll put it in the chat.
Please.
And what they do is they watch 4 to 5 videos. After each video, they fill out a little bit of information about them. This helps the family get into our system. Once they get to the end, that's when they would pay for their credit report. Otherwise, we do work with families that are pre-approved with the bank already as well, that are just looking for additional assistance with grants to help with their down payment closing costs. Once they do that, then our admin team will reach out to them to have them complete authorization forms. So we have authorization to pull their credit and meet with them and discuss their options, work with banks on their behalf if they agree to it, and those kind of things.
So if
Once
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
so once those forms are completed, then our admin team reaches out to them and gets them scheduled with one of us coaches. And then we're with them the rest of the way till they purchase their home.
So you said something that caught my attention. Grants for closing costs, which is huge because like Regina mentioned earlier, you all want people to be spending their money in housing as an investment, as opposed to, and I get that there are some good reasons to rent. But long term for people to be homeowners. And sometimes folks realize, okay, it's probably cheaper for me to pay a mortgage than to pay rent, but that barrier of closing cost, of down payment, etc., is what's keeping me from purchasing a home. And then you also said that you work with folks who have been pre-approved by banks. So if I'm an individual who has already been pre-approved for a bank loan, I could work with Axe Housing and have access once I complete orientation and your other requirements, um, to access those grants to use for the down payment. And I'm seeing grant as in does not need to be paid back. Is all of that accurate?
Yes. So right now, X Housing in Rock County, we offer grants for all of Rock County. Yes, this is based on first come, first serve as far as applying for grants. One of our grants that we have in the city of Beloit is internally funded. We have this grant offered to families from our own fund. So it never runs out. And they are income based. So we're looking low to moderate income. And that's where we would take a look at, hey, this is your income. This is what your bank can offer for down payment assistance. This is what we can offer. Now they have to have an accepted offer before we can confirm that they're approved for the grant, because we have to verify where they're purchasing. But yes, families can tap into that with us. We've had cases to where families work with NeighborWorks and get grants from NeighborWorks, and they get grants from us as well. So
Wow.
families don't have to choose over one or the other because we don't offer the same grants.
Okay, so those are I'm learning so much. So thank you both for this. So the grants can be combined from other organizations.
Yes.
Okay.
Um, we have a partnership with a lot of lenders in the area, already established, where they're familiar with our grants. It's possible that a family might be approved with someone we haven't worked with before. And that's where we would just have to have a conversation with them to make sure that their underwriting team is going to accept those grants, because ultimately it's up to them. So, and you mentioned forgivable. One of our grants in City of Beloit is forgivable at closing. You sign the papers at closing. There's no time frame that you have to wait before selling your home with penalty. The other grant that we offer that is for all of Rock County, that one's forgivable over 3 years. So since it's government funds, they have a stipulation because they're trying to help keep families in homes and not help families just flip houses. With that grant, it's as long as you live in the home for more than 3 years, you don't owe that money back. If you were to sell the home or rent it out and no longer live there as your primary address, you might owe a portion of that back.
Okay, good to know. I'm so glad this is being recorded because I'm sure people are going to go back and listen to this again and hopefully share it to people that may find this helpful.
Also, Amy,
Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I just wanted to mention too, Shelby talked about the process with the grants, but I also wanted to just back up a little bit. In the beginning, Shelby touched on people getting, uploading, having your credit report uploaded and some of the technical stuff with the videos. But I just want to make sure that people know if there's any kind of, challenges, because not everybody may not be tech savvy, we can offer that assistance to you at our office. Our current location is 645 3rd Street, but and our number is 608-365-7077. So people that may have those challenges and need to work through that, we are here and able to help you through that, and you can come into our office and we'll assist you further. So just wanted to mention that.
No, I appreciate that. So make sure I have this correct. You're located at 645 3rd Street. And your phone number where folks can reach you is 608-365-7077. Oh, perfect. And you already put it in the chat, Shelby. So great. It is there. Another question that I had, Shelby, you said, no one can make you buy a certain home, which got me to thinking, are there certain neighborhoods that you are able to move into? Are there areas? Is it anywhere in Beloit or anywhere in Rock County? How does that work with far as neighborhood location, or where you want to purchase your home?
Yeah, so Axe Housing is the most helpful if you purchase in Rock County or, our home office up in Milwaukee, just because then we could possibly offer our internal financing, non-traditional financing, Axe lending, or you might be able to get approved for grants with us. But you can purchase wherever you'd like. We are HUD approved, so our education is going to help you whether you purchase in Wisconsin, Illinois, you just had to pack up, go to Tennessee, wherever you go in the states, because your credit score and finances are going to be the same regardless of where you go. I currently have families that I'm working with that are wanting to purchase in Illinois instead of Wisconsin, so because we're so close to the border, or families that are looking to go further out of state. So I'm still working with them on credit, getting ready to get approved with the bank, finances, feeling comfortable and understanding the process. We'll just look at local organizations to help with grants for them.
No, that's great. All right, so just a reminder to all of our participants that are listening in, feel free to put your questions in the chat, and we will answer those as they come up. Another question that I had, can you explain the work that you do with helping people purchase? Do you offer assistance if someone is in a home but they want to rehab a home, they want to rehab it prior to purchasing it? Does ACTS have any involvement in assisting community members with those aspects of home buying?
Yeah. So if you currently own your home and you're looking to rehab it, we're not able to offer financing for that. But I know the city of Beloit does have a loan program to help homeowners rehab their home with the needs for the home. Obviously, not HGTV, they're focused on the needs. And it can be deferred payments at little to no interest with the city for that for current homeowners. We help homeowners that might not qualify for traditional financing or can't afford a higher loan amount to be able to purchase a rehab with us. So with that, they would get approved with our financing with ACTS Lending. It's an additional service that we offer. Families aren't required to use that if they're doing coaching with us. With that, we are not credit score based. We are looking to make sure you've been paying your bills on time, non-medical collections are paid, but we're okay with child support judgments. If you don't have the perfect score, if you filed bankruptcy and it's been discharged for 6 months, our lending is very flexible. So currently, if you're doing a rehab, what happens is our loans max out at $125,000, depending on the need, how much you need for the home. You don't need $125,000 to purchase and fix it up. We're not going to give you that much. We give you what you need. A lot of what we're seeing with this is City of Beloit homes that the city owns that are not in good shape to just move into. And we're giving you funds to purchase the home and fix it up. So typically families are getting these homes from the city, $20,000, $30,000, and then the rest of their loan is the rehab to fix up the home. Like I said, we're focused on the needs. So foundation, plumbing, electrical, doors, windows, holes in the walls, roof, those kind of things are what we're focused on. And you're not alone doing your rehab. You're assigned a rehab coach. So I'm here to help families be able to purchase their home, get the keys, and then the rehab coach takes over and helps them move into the home. So that's been our primary focus for lending. And Beloit, starting, I think just this month, we have started offering a move-in ready loan option. So you can purchase any home on the market with our financing as well. So our financing is more flexible than banks, to where we're not looking at the minimum credit score requirement. You don't have to wait as long as you had a bankruptcy. You can apply if you have child support judgment. So those loans will be maxing out at $200,000, depending on what you can afford. So we can offer financing for that as well.
Perfect. And when we discussed previously about intergenerational buying, so let's say there's a parent and a child going in, that would increase your buying power, and you all look at that when you talk about affordability of the home, right?
Yes, correct.
Perfect.
And I've had a lot of situations to where I start with one person on the file, and then they're like, oh, well, my sister and I decided we're going to buy a duplex together. So I'm going to add her, and we look at her file and make sure that we're all good and we can get approved together. I've had mom and daughter, father, son, siblings, and spouses.
Wonderful. I see we have a question for Brittany in the chat. I'm going to squeeze in one that's kind of related to what we're talking to before we go to that one. With respect to rehabbing, and you're saying that some of the homes that are owned by the city you can get for a pretty low price, and then increase that loan amount so you can purchase and fix it up. I know that our inventory with homes is low in Beloit and in Rock County. Are those homes that you mentioned? Are those included in available inventory, or are they outside of that count?
The houses with the city are outside of that count.
Okay.
And I know that things recently changed to where the city used to set aside properties. They used to select properties for Axe Housing to sell to families as rehabs. And now we will be having to purchase homes, going to auctions and purchasing them to where they'll be in our name.
Got it. All right, we're going to go to Brittany's question. Does ACTS provide counseling to help individuals who may be facing foreclosure to stay in their homes?
This is not an area of specialty for us. Us coaches, we are HUD certified, so we're trained on how to help with foreclosure. We don't have a we don't have a whole program dedicated to it. But it is something that we could answer questions for and help you with and guide you. I know that with foreclosure, NeighborWorks does have a program dedicated to this.
Okay. Perfect. Quick question. So between agencies, is it typical to do referrals? So you're saying that ACTS, we could answer questions, but that's not really in our wheelhouse. Would you refer out to another agency that could better serve, or maybe more robustly serve the community member?
Yes, definitely. We're both working towards the same goal of helping families with housing and reaching homeownership. I've definitely had families that I've referred to them, and they've referred families to me. Because sometimes families won't qualify for traditional financing, so they send them our way so we can do the non-traditional ACTS lending route.
No, I love that collaboration. I think it's really great that it seems like you are super focused on we all have the same goal. So how can we help community members get into housing? Love that. So another question that I think you already answered, but I just want to circle back so we can be really certain. So if a community member was previously a homeowner, and they did lose their home to foreclosure, that wouldn't be something that prevented them from working with ACTS again,
Correct.
working with ACTS the first time if they.
Correct. So if you do lending with us, our lending is for first-time homebuyers only. Now,
Okay.
being a first-time homeowner means that you have not owned a home for the last 3 years. So with foreclosure, from that foreclosure date, we'd be looking at 3 years past that. Special cases, like if an individual has gone through divorce and lost their home that way, then you don't have to wait the full 3 years.
Okay, wonderful. Um, So keep those questions coming. Regina, I'm going to turn to you. You are the new regional director at Axe Housing. What has been the most fulfilling part of this new role for you?
Well, I really love it. I'm able to see firsthand the impact that Axe Housing is making in our Beloit community. We've had some success stories, and one that people may know of is Sean Chisholm. Sean is very proud that he's a homeowner. He has expressed many times that he never even thought about becoming a homeowner, and today he owns a home here in Beloit. And there's been a few of those since I've been here. There was even a lady that had come in, and she was Spanish speaking and couldn't speak in English, and had come to this country as an immigrant and became a homeowner. So for me, I couldn't even understand the language. We certainly had a translator here, but I could feel the impact that it had made and the happiness that she had to be able to get her own keys. And one of the things that we always say is they said yes to the address. So we have a big ceremony here when there's a closing and someone is going to get into their new home. And it's just, I can't express or explain how fulfilling that is to see that happen. I know firsthand, especially with my experience in the city, that we want to make our entire city look no matter what side of town you're on, look beautiful. And so we know that that occurs when people become homeowners. They seem to take more of not seem, but they take more pride in it when it belongs to them. So we want to encourage people in Beloit and in our community, our families to become homeowners and not just give your money away, but to actually have something that's going to benefit you and not only just today, but for the future. So I just wanted to, yeah, so I'll say that.
Love that. Axe Housing is so fortunate to have you in that position. Shelby, same question to you.
Oh, and then also, Amy, I was just gonna say, people, I think, especially in communities of color, it's not thought about becoming a homeowner has not been thought about, or even something that people dream about, because for so long, many people in our community have been just generational renters. And so they may think, I'll just go and what apartment am I going to rent as opposed to a home? So I think we have to change that perception so people know that they can have the opportunity to become a homeowner. And that's one of the things that we do really well here at Axe Housing is to let people know if we don't give away free homes, but if you want to work hard and you want to have something that is yours, we want to help you get on the path to do that.
No, I love that. And from everything that you all are sharing with us today, it sounds like you have someone, and coach seems like a very appropriate title to walk with you through the process. It's not just oh, I had a question, so I called or I stopped in and I got this resource. And I love that you said, I can help you get the keys. And if it's a rehab, then I transfer you over to the rehab coach, that you're not in this alone. And I think that that is going to be really comforting to a lot of people, especially if you're a person that maybe in the back of your mind you wanted to be a homeowner, but you didn't think it was for you or you didn't think you could afford it. And I love all of the small things that you're telling us, like with the bankruptcy. I've never heard of a place where 6 months after a bankruptcy is discharged, you can look into purchasing a home. Exceptions for if you lost your home during divorce or etc. So I'm really excited that you all are there to walk people through the nuances of buying a home, the referrals to other agencies, if they're better suited to meet a certain need. I just think that's really beautiful, and that goes a long way to community building. So really excited to have you all here in the community. Shelby, same question to you. What is the most rewarding, or one of the most rewarding aspects of your work with Axe Housing?
Yeah. So a little bit of my background, I worked at a bank for 5 years. I worked for Town Bank. Um, and the bank, nothing against them. They are very transactional. It's yes, I can help you. No, I can't help you. Thank you. Have a good day. As to where with this job, I've been here for 2 years with Axe Housing. I love it. I get to take that next step of we're not ready now, but this is what we're going to do to meet our goal. Because homeownership is not a dream. It's a goal, it's achievable. You just have to see it. And us as human beings are very good at putting ourselves in this box and saying, oh, I can't do it because of this. Or, oh, I can't do it because of this. So I love being able to help families bring themselves outside of the box they put themselves in and reach their goals. Financial education is something that sits really close to home for me because we don't learn about this in school. Unless someone in your life teaches you about credit, finances, you don't know. And you don't have guidance to better yourself and put yourself in a situation to have a home that no one can take away from you as long as you're, taking care of it and place to call home. Your kids can paint the room whatever color they want. They can be as loud as they want, have friends over and feel safe. So that's something that really hits close to home to me is that financial education and making sure that families are empowered going through this process and educated.
I love that. Okay, so many things just kind of flooded into my head. And participants, keep those questions cover coming, because we will have time to get to those. So a couple of things. I know a lot of school districts are moving towards having a financial literacy course or opportunity that's one of your graduation requirements, have districts reached out to Axe Housing to say, hey, come be a guest speaker? Because I don't think it's too early to getting our high schoolers thinking about, all right, one day I want to own a home. And what does that process look like? How do I start? So are they knocking on the doors and asking you to come speak?
Well, I'll be knocking on their door, Amy. And I have met with one of the school districts, and so I am very much looking forward to doing that. Families will see us out and about in the community. We'll be at some of the different open houses at some, and then, you know, when they have the when people come in, what are those, the
The
parent teacher
expos. Yep.
conferences and those kind of things, we'll have a table set up. And so if people want to talk to us, they can do that, and we'll be more than happy to give them the information on home ownership and becoming homeowners. So we're really excited about that. But you're right. And I'm hoping that in the future that what we will do is get into the classroom, because it starts at a younger age. And then if we get the information to the students, they can certainly share that information with their parents.
I love that. Um, a couple quotable things that you ladies have accidentally said. The first is a home, buying a home is not a dream, it's a goal. And I love
Right.
that. You know, that it's something that's yeah, it's a dream for some people, but it's something that's attainable and you can develop a plan and work towards it and achieve it. And Regina, I believe you said they said yes to the address. Um,
Yes.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. And so what we always say too is you buy a home and you build a community. We always say that. And then Amy, something else, I'll go back into what we were talking about. Shelby was very good at sharing some of the things that she does too, as far as the financial coaching and that kind of thing. And I was hoping that Shelby could share a little bit that we certainly have different partnerships, which has been helpful for Axe, but we also have a broker, a real estate broker that we work with. And so, Shelby, can you just touch on that just a little bit? You know a little bit more about that than I do.
Yeah, so I mentioned our different services that we offer. Main thing that every family is going to be, working with is a coach. That's kind of first step in this process. So you're, meeting with a coach, that's number one thing that we focus on with families. Add-on services that we have, as we talked about, was the Axe Lending. If you do a rehab with Axe Lending, then you get a Axe Realtor and a rehab coach. So we have our own brokerage. Axe Housing has their own real estate brokerage. So I believe we do have one of our realtors on the call today. She joined Tanya Sanchez. So she's our local realtor here in the Beloit area that works with families. And you don't have to be a part of the Axe program of purchasing your first home to work with Tanya. She does outside deals as well for families that are selling their first home and buying their second home and working on, other families that might not be a first time home buyer. She takes those deals as well. So she's independent contractor. She gets to work with anyone. But those first time home buyers, we definitely work with through our program to make sure that they fully understand the process.
Wonderful. So Tanya, thank you for joining us. I'm not going to put you on the spot, but if there's anything you want to share in the chat or unmute, feel free. I guess my next question is, while we wait for some more questions and responses to come in, what is it that you offer that we haven't discussed that the community has no idea about? I know just in our almost 40 minutes together, I've learned a lot. But when you sit down with people, what are the things that are most helpful and also most surprising services that they can receive from Axe Housing?
Yeah, so we have quite a few partnerships throughout the community to be able to provide additional resources to families. We have, like I said, a lot of lending partners, banks that we work with in the area, but also different resources. We have connections to help families with, little no interest personal loans if needed, if that's going to help their situation. We have partnership with banks to be able to have families get a second chance bank account. So families that are on check systems that might not be able to open a regular bank account, we can give that referral to a bank to help them open that account. So there's a lot of things that we've been able to put our foot into with additional referral sources. And these partners are like, oh, you're working with this family on a regular basis. You understand their situation fully. You analyzed everything. I trust you. We're going to do this for them.
Wow, that's really great.
And then
If
I'd also like to mention too, Amy, is that we also have services. We have people who can translate, who can speak and write in Spanish. You know, we have an increasing Hispanic population here in the Beloit community. So we really want to make sure that we're meeting each person where they're at.
Perfect. Is it, and I don't know if there is or not, but I'm gonna ask, is there a situation where we're kind of like Axe Housing alums? Like I know you mentioned Sean, and he's been very open with sharing his story, and we are so excited for him and his family. But is there any interaction between those who have gone through Axe and purchased a home with those that are currently still working in the process to attain a home? And if yes, what does that interaction look like, and how does that benefit community members?
Yeah. So currently, our alum families, if you purchase a home with us, you will always be an ex family. We are with you every step of the way. You have any questions, anything comes up, you can come back to us. Um, but if you would like to participate in things and help get the word out about us, because Rock County, Beloit, it's that small town homey feel. People trust who they know. They see someone they know go through the process, and now they trust that process because someone that they know went through it. Um, so, Sean has been a great spokesperson. Um, we have a few other families as well. And what we do on a monthly basis is we send newsletters to families that are currently in our pipeline, and we share stories of families that have gone through the process. And we do interviews with the families that have gone through the process that would like to do an interview. You're not forced to with us. Um, so that they can understand that people might have been in similar situations as them. Now, no two situations are exactly the same, but someone might have been in a similar situation as you and they were able to do it. And reading that in the newsletter that we send out on a monthly basis gives a little bit of extra motivation of, okay, I'm not alone. And then we're looking at we've done a few events in Beloit and had families come and speak to potential home buyers. But we're looking at doing an event in March and having a panel of families that purchase a home with us to answer questions for families as well.
I love that. I'll read this in the chat again in case some of us don't have it open. This is from Tanya. I've been a real estate agent for 8 years, having had my own challenges when purchasing a home, inspired me to become an agent and help others within my community. I help everyone anywhere in Wisconsin buy and sell real estate, but I proudly specialize in helping first-time home buyers and bridging the gap between minorities and low-income families to home ownership. All right. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I think people can sense when they're working with someone that's intimately involved in the work. And there's just, I think that connection there. And again, I love what you're doing with the newsletter and giving people inspiration because sometimes it can get frustrating, say, I thought this might work out. It's not happening yet. Will it ever happen for me? So I love that encouragement is there along the way as well. So we have a little bit more time. We don't have any additional questions yet. But are there things that we haven't covered that are really important to share with our audience or anyone who might be watching this video once it's posted?
Yeah. And, like you mentioned with us doing the newsletters, I just want to throw it out there. Life will always keep lifing. Things come up in life.
Oh,
It's not if they do come up, and that's okay. Um, our VP out of Milwaukee, D, she loves to say a setback is setting you up for your perfect comeback. And going through a tough time using your savings is gonna be like, okay, next time it happens, I'm prepared. It's okay. I have more savings now. I'm more prepared. I've gone through this before. I'm not going to stress. So setbacks set you up for your comeback. It's okay. Everyone's timeline's different. It can be frustrating when life happens, but if you hold to it, remember your why to home ownership. If it's your kids, not having to deal with landlords anymore, having that security, stability, remember your why when you have those challenges.
no, that's very sound advice.
Right, and then we want to make sure that there's no money left on the table. We want to make sure that you have as many funds that you need in order to be able to purchase a home. Like I said, there's no free homes, but if you're willing to do the work and to get to where you need to be, we will be there every step of the way to assist you. Because we know that home ownership too is in a sense your own power too as well.
Absolutely. Having that, place that you can
Mhm.
retreat to after life has been lifing, Shelby,
Yes.
yes, is just an amazing thing that I think some of us take for granted. And so that's another reason I'm so excited that you're doing this work to help community members attain a dream slash goal that they may have had for years. And I'm really excited that you all are available in the community as a resource.
Right,
So
and Amy, our hours are Monday through Friday from 8 to 4. So people know that they can stop and they can give us a call or stop into our office and we'll be more than happy to assist them.
okay, sounds good. Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. And again, that address was 645 3rd Street. And the phone number 608-365-7077. All right, well, I will
Yes.
do a last call for questions, and then I will yield the floor to each of you ladies if there are any final things that you want to leave us with. And if you could touch on how can we as community members help get the word out about ACTS and how can we support the work that you're doing? So while they are answering that, if you have a final question, please go ahead and put that in the chat and we'll circle back before we close out. Shelby, would you like to go first?
Yeah, big thing, with getting our name out there is, you know, we're still kind of the new kid on the block. Beloit is a tight knit community. They trust who they know. Um, and we haven't had a chance to get out there in the community that much. So if anyone has events that are going on in the community, always feel free to reach out to us, invite us to events. We'll come to everything that we can. But a big thing is just spreading the word about X housing because Beloit is that small town feel. They trust who they know. And the more homeowners that we have come through the program, the more that the word's going to get out there. And as far as families, individuals looking at this, thinking about homeownership, don't put yourself in a box unless you reach out to someone, talk to them about your situation. Because home ownership might not be the ideal situation for you. That's okay, but you don't know unless you look into it.
Right. Very good.
And I just want to add too, Shelby, sometimes people go through the program and they may not complete it where they're able to purchase a home and say, well, I lost my job, so I can't do it right now. And so if that occurs, we help you pick up where you left off. We don't say, well, you can't come back. We worked with you before, you didn't go through finish through the program. We don't do that. We will continue to assist you as much as we can. So people know that. And then we work with anyone who wants to purchase a home for home ownership occupancy. So I just want people to know that. We typically work with first time home buyers with low to moderate with low to moderate incomes, but we also help so you're able to assist and be able to have access to uh down payment assistance. So just wanted to add that.
Perfect. Regina, as we close out, is there anything that you wanted to add to Shelby's comments with respect to how the community can support ACTS or help to get the word out about the work that you're doing in our community?
One of the things that we've tried to do at Accent is to get the word out, and we put things on each of the city buses so the riders can see that anyone can get in touch with us if they're interested in becoming homeowners. They don't want to pay all that high rent anymore, but we just want to make sure that people know to spread the word. Like today, people were watching on the Lunch and Learn. If they can just tell one person and that person tells somebody else, that's also very helpful. Axe Housing has been here in Beloit since 2019. And I know there was a time when people said, well, what's Axe Housing? I said, I guess we got to work better at really identifying who we are. So we want to really get the word out. So if you're watching today and you know somebody that you might say, hey, that's my sister or my brother or my nephew, that'd be a great program for them. They just need to reach out to us and we will certainly contact them back. And so we can make their dream become a reality. If this is something that somebody wants to do and they want to become a homeowner and they don't want to pay that high rent anymore, we are here to help.
Wonderful. Well, ladies, thank you again for spending some time with me this afternoon. I have learned so much, and I'm sure those that are listening in have learned a lot as well. I'm going to do a final call for questions. All right, there we go. Ask and you shall receive. All right, let me scroll up so I can read this. Thank you so much. We with Children's Wisconsin Rock County Family Resources Center will be sharing all of this information with families and all of the families we serve in Rock County. Amazing program. Thank you so much for spreading the word out. We will have the recording on the YWCA Rock County YouTube channel in the next couple days. So please look for that if you want to rewatch and catch any information that you may have missed. And please feel free to share that widely. All right. Well, ladies, thank you again so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Take care.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Take care. Bye-bye.